Игровой канал Mr.KOKO представляет.
Всем привет, продолжаем играть в ее историю. О, тут есть проверка базы. Раздел не найден. То есть получается проверка баз. Мы можем следить за прогрессом того, что у нас есть и чего у нас нет. Офигеть, сколько тут всего на самом деле. Или это порядок выставления всего? Не знаю. Так, что у нас? Давайте посмотрим на Смит. Ничего. Саймон. На Саймона-то что было? $59 вхождений. Саймон Ханна. О, сколько нашли-то всего. Минута 18.
She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first.
Carl.
She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush.
Что?
After that, we took it in turns, though I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
Карл. Группа. Так, то есть, когда я нажимаю «Сохранить», я могу здесь нажать «Обновить», и появляется новый раздел. Отлично. Так, ну, в принципе, это можно закрыть, наверное.
Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Eric had given him a full-time position after he left school.
Эрик.
And then...
Так.
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Угу. Чердак. 8 вхождений, кстати, найдено. Ну-ка. Нет.
It lasted about 6 months. I tried to carry on, but everything was different. Hannah insisted I not pretend to be her around Simon, let alone sleep with him. We didn't share him like the others. The rules had changed. Me living in the attic had become weird in a way it hadn't been before.
Кошмар, блин, жить на чердаке, ну что за бред? Саймон и Ева, давайте посмотрим. Нет, одно вхождение, а просто Ева. Ева и чердак, допустим. Пусто. Просто чердак. Вообще классно, на самом деле, это выглядит. Просто 12 схождений. Елки-палки, я что-то новое нашел.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, the dollhouse in the attic, old things.
Кукольный домик, кстати.
We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Так, кто из них кто на самом деле?
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff, stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police.
Угу, на чердаке тело нашли, значит. Так.
Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
Угу. Кукольный домик, чердак. Так.
Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So...
Вот кто она? Ева или Ханна? Так полагаю, все началось на чердаке и все закончилось на чердаке.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Угу. Так, давайте посмотрим по этой штуке. Я что-то не понял. Обновилось что-то вообще? Блин, одна только.
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork from them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Забавно. Так. Так. Что у нас? Глазго. 10 штук. Десять, да? Может быть, Глазго Ева? Нет. О, Глазго Саймон.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
Достаточно.
It's like I told you before. I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine. Slept in the car. When I woke, I tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back.
То есть это Ева.
I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
Так, Глазго. Ребенок. Нет. 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 Ну, а это я уже проверял, да, по-моему? Да, проверил. Так. Свадьба, может быть. 5 вхождений. Ничего интересного. Вот последнее, да? У нас вообще пусто самое начало. То есть с чего все начиналось. Вот она рассказывает Саймон Рим, кстати. Рим. А по Рим больше ничего. По Смиту 3 вхождения. Так. Так, Питер Хелен Саймон. Питер. Нет. Нет. Рок. Так, что-то еще есть.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument.
Все с того, как все это началось.
On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
Эрик. Видели. Так, Эрик. Во, сейчас мы по пути пойдем, по правильному.
Yes, there's a car that we share, Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Так, Кавалер. Эрик. Вот уже что-то начинает вырисовываться, тем более 11 вхождений по Эрику.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
Так, Эрик. Эрик. Нет. Эрик Рок. Фургон тогда. Нет. О, Эрик Саймон.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower, the phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it, I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor.
Даг
And then I
и
decided to come
Леонора.
and see you. That enough?
Даг.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door.
Она то же самое рассказывает, прям слово в
I
слово?
could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left.
Или это
I
другая?
walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack.
Прям слово в
I
слово
shouted
рассказывает.
out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you.
Ага, только Даг и Элеонора
Better now?
в этот раз по-другому. Тут просто Эрик и родители. Так.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
Так, смотрим на... Она, наверное, сама по себе обновляется, да? Просто... Ну ладно. Эрик. Просто Диана. Семь вхождений. Тогда давайте Дага смотреть.
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us, there's always been pressure.
Даг, работа с Саймон.
I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, you know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage. And she still has a secret like that.
Неужели он не чувствует, как она курит? Если сам только не курит. Хорошо, по Дагу все выяснили. Теперь Элеонора. 5 вхождений, хорошо.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them. Yeah. 1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
Так.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. His move just...
Пролила кофе. Так. Ну, потихонечку начинает первый ряд складываться, но опять же это все не то. Родители.
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
Так, Эрик. Ой. Стекольщик.
No, I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
Печально.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents.
Так, тут 19 вхождений. Смерть. Нет. Ева. Вообще ничего. Нет.
Simon's parents offered to put me up, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. It would be too sad. Not right now. I'm staying at a friend's.
Хорошо. Так, что же еще может быть? Родители 94-й? А вообще просто 94-й. Одно вхождение. Прикалывайтесь. 19 вхождений. Что может быть здесь? По Диане вот 7, пахание 18, Саймон 59. Чердак вот еще я не открывал. Что за фильтры? Нет.
After the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house, to our parents' house, to their house. So, it was definitely him. I sometimes think he wanted to get caught to prove to himself that we were different people. He told me about his marriage, told me how his wife was completely different to me. I almost burst out laughing.
Хорошо. Просто дом.
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
Дом, суббота, день рождения.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home. I
Отражение.
had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
Она ее называет как отражение. Тут очень много всяких ключевых слов, надо это запомнить.
Yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy. And after the funeral, everyone came back to the house. Hannah served up sandwiches, and I stayed out of sight.
Так, ну-ка.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince. Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
Счастливый конец. Ага.
What kind of hairs?
Блин, 2 минуты 36 секунд. Поехали.
You want me to play something?
Давай.
I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay? Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. See, they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. She pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind
Браво! Браво! Отлично играешь. Баллада. Ну и это хороший момент для того, чтобы закончить серию. Вам спасибо, что смотрели. Увидимся в следующей серии. Ставьте лайки. Всем пока.